This is Steve Lishansky, and I'm often asked the question, what's the greatest obstacle to change? You know, the impediments to change are critical to be able to deal with and to overcome. And I'll tell you this, the number one obstacle and impediment to change is nothing other than habits. And I'll tell you what, you want to check this out? Put your fingers together and see which finger's on top. I'll tell you what, whether you've got the right on top or left on top, take them apart and switch so the other set of fingers is on top. You know what happens whenever I do this with a group? They go, oh my gosh, that feels strange. Is there any simpler change you could ever ask anybody to go through than simply putting their fingers together differently? We're talking about changing organizations. We're talking about changing the way people act and think. So, what do we need to do in order to deal with that greatest impediment to change? One thing to do is to make sure they understand their habits are holding them back. A second thing to do is help them understand the perspective that they need to assume in order to see a new path of actions. You can't tell people to do something different when it feels strange. Try crossing your arms and then switching that. A little more difficult, again, the same kind of thing. But you know what? The more you practice the action, the better you're going to be at doing the action, and the less likely it's going to be to feel confusing. But the best way to get them to be willing to take action is to help them think about what's really valuable, what's meaningful, and why a different approach would be worthwhile for them. Try it out, and you're going to be able to overcome the greatest obstacle to change, people's habits.